real estate regularity, the authority and the registration and the code of conduct. This is the main information that you will need in order to register as an estate agent and to get qualified. You know, nowadays, for you, but once you receive your certificate, you can hardly do anything with the certificate. So what's luckily at our Bemore group is that it is an NQF4 accreditation qualified. Okay, the Estate Agency Affairs Board. This is the current regulator. They are in the there is a process where there's a new property practitioner bill. We will talk tomorrow a little bit more about the new property practitioner bill, and but for now it still stays the Real Estate Agents Affairs Board. The new property practitioner bill is in process of implementing, but currently it's still the Estate Agents Board, but I'm sure they hardly do anything with the certificate. So what's luckily at our Bemore group is that it is an NQF4 accreditation qualified. Okay, the Estate Agency Affairs Board. This is the current regulator. They are in there is a process where there's a new property practitioner bill. We will talk tomorrow a little bit more about the new property practitioner bill, and but for now it still stays the Real Estate Agents Affairs Board. The new property practitioner bill is in process of implementing, but currently it's still the Estate Agents Board, but I'm sure that the basic principles will stay the same. The department will move to the Human Settlements Department. Now, why the Estate Agents Affairs Board? The Estate Agents Affairs Board was established in 1976 in terms of the Estate Agents Affairs Act. With a mandate to regulate and control certain activities of estate agents in the public interest and for incidental matters. Now, there's 8 simple steps to register as an intern estate agent. I'm quickly going to run through the steps. Number first, you must register with the EAIB, and how it works is the current regulator. They are in there is a process where there's a new property practitioner bill. We will talk tomorrow a little bit more about the new property practitioner bill, and but for now it still stays the Real Estate Agents Affairs Board. The new property practitioner bill is in process of implementing, but currently it's still the Estate Agents Board, but I'm sure that the basic principles will stay the same. The department will move to the Human Settlements Department. Now, why the Estate Agents Affairs Board? The Estate Agents Affairs Board was established in 1976 in terms of the Estate Agents Affairs Act. With a mandate to regulate and control certain activities of estate agents in the public interest and for incidental matters. Now, there's 8 simple steps to register as an intern estate agent. I'm quickly going to run through the steps. Number first, you must register with the EIIB, and how it works nowadays is that you complete your application form with a copy of your ID, a certified copy of your ID, and you submit it to the board, and then the board will issue you a 7-digit reference number. This reference number is a number that you will have for life. It's like an ID number at the Estate Agents Board. It never changed. And then you can log onto the EIIB portal where you can actually do the payment. They will give you the invoice, and you upload your documentation there. And once you paid that, you will get your application, your the documents to approve it. And then on successful allocation of the payment, you will have your locking, with your locking details, you will be able to download your FFC certificate. There's one video, just pause the videos, please. Whose video is this? Okay. All right. As part of the State Agency Affairs Board statutory mandate and legislation, it is the requirement of all estate agents wishing to operate within the real estate property industry to be in possession of a valid FFC certificate. Now, the FFC certificate, it is the Fidelity Fund certificate. So the moment you register with the board, you will get an FFC certificate. Also, it will show exactly that you are an intern estate agent. The validity of the FFC certificate is from the 1st of January for this year and up to the 31st of January for that same year. And it will be required for you to renew that certificate not later than the 31st of October of each year. So it is only a year certificate. It is not a permanent certificate, so you have to renew it every year. Any person wishing to register as an estate agent for the first time must serve as an intern estate agent at an estate agency company, acting under the active supervision and control of the principal estate agent or a full stated agent who has continuously held a Fidelity Fund certificate issued by the EIB for a period not less than 3 years, for a continuous period of 12 months as from the date of the first issue of such person of an intern Fidelity Fund certificate. So during this first 12 months, you are not allowed to move from company to company because you are allocated to a specific mentor that will help you through this. You've got documentation that you have to complete, everything. Once you're done with this, you do this NQF4 certificate and you write your we call it the PDE, is your professional designation exam, and then you are a professional practitioner in real estate. So that is what you need. So between this, you must do your NQF4, you complete your portfolio, the assessor assesses it, the moderator moderates it. If everything is done, you get your certificate, and then you write your main exam at the Estate Agents Board, and then you are a qualified estate agent. Any questions?
Hi, Rhina.
Yes, Kabbalah.
Just clarity on the qualifications, right?
Yeah.
So in my understanding, there's 3 tiers. So the first one, you'll be an intern practitioner, right?
Yeah.
And to become an intern, you only need the FFC. Then the second tier, now you are a professional practitioner, but not a principal.
Now,
right?
let me quickly clarify that for you. You sign up as an intern estate agent at any estate agency company. If you take the long route, then you have to, it has been in 12 months' time, you have to submit a logbook to the Estate Agents Board to say that you are now registered with this company and what you've done, all the practical work that you've done. Then you can do your NQF4. But the shortcut is you can write in as an intern estate agent, start with your logbook, and together then you carry on and you do your NQF4. So you can do the two together. And once you qualified as NQF4, you are a full status agent. But if you want to have your own company, you must then enroll for the NQF5 certificate, because you have to have the NQF5 certificate to be able to be a principal of a company.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the clarity.
Okay. So you're with me there. Okay.
Yes.
Now, about the real estate qualification is that, as Nomisa explained to you yesterday, there's the 3 legs that is part of this qualification. It is the real estate platform. We are going to concentrate more on the real estate platform, but we're going to touch today about the legislation a little bit, and the practice we're going to touch with the mandates and with the contracts. We're just going to touch in so that you get the feeling of what it's all about. Okay. Now, with your logbook and with your NQF4 and even with NQF5, you have to complete a portfolio of evidence. And with a logbook, this is not in such a detail as that it is with the NQF4. We need your personal section. So although you've registered on the platform as a student, still there is documentation that needs to be completed that forms part of your portfolio. That forms part of your portfolio. So you've got an induction, you've got a performance appraisals, product knowledge, selling, rental, self-development, law, finance, marketing, managing, administration, paralegal, marketing electives, and finance. But you know what's nice about this training now? Because we are touching on some of these issues, that means that you will actually get exempted. You will get exempted for that because you will have the documentation. You can just add in and complete what's not completed. Please, and if you want to ask something, just please ask, it's fine. Now, the qualification alignment. The real estate qualification has 3 exit levels outcomes with a related assessment criteria and must be achieved by the learner for certification against the real estate qualification, as is indicated below. On the one leg, you must analyze, evaluate, and apply the real estate code of conduct. You must demonstrate your knowledge of real estate environment, and you must perform the real estate function. Now, there is a criteria from Servicita, whereas in theory, we will do 36 hours. Now, that is what we are going to offer you, the 36 hours training online, and we will help you there. We will be there for you. If you need any question, if you want to ask any questions, our facilitators will be available for you to help. And then in practical, you need 33 hours in practical. That is where in the estate agency company where you are, you have to attend some of the training, like we did now with our company, is to help you to do the listings. If you can just see on 101, you need 2 hours there for listings. We've already covered that. So that is how we will build up your hours there. There is a form where the principal and your mentor must complete to see that, just confirm that you've done those hours. And then remember, although we train you to do the listing, you must physically go out and do some listings. And that is where this comes in, your workplace experience, where this comes in. Exactly how many hours that you spend doing canvassing, not only one property, maybe 10 properties in this case. And then your preparation to put everything together. So in total, it looks a lot, but it is not really a lot. If you can manage this easily within the 6 months, where you must do a total of 187 hours. If you have a problem with an estate agency where you don't have an estate agency, you don't know where you can go to, you can talk to us and we can maybe recommend something for you. So even there we can assist. Learner support. Please remember that this program is an outcomes-based, and this implies the following. You are responsible for your own learning. Make sure you manage your study, practical and workplace and portfolio time responsible. Learning activities are learner-driven. Make sure that you use the learner guide and the portfolio guide in the manner intended and are familiar with the portfolio requirements. Now, Mr. Munasi will come in later this week to show you how you can get all this information from our website and where you register as the student. The facilitator is there to responsibly assist you during this contact, practical and workplace time of this program. Make sure that you have his contact details. Any questions? Okay. Then there's an assessment. You've got a formative assessment and you've got a summative assessment. Now, what is formative assessment? Formative assessment is what you learn, meaning this is what the training is, this is what we tell you what to do, this is all the material we're given to you, and then you got your summative, you must identify and you must generate the marks, and you must be incorporate into module feedback, and you assess progress against goals. On completion of your portfolio of evidence, you will be required to write a FSA, that is the final summative assessment examination on each learning unit. Please, questions or inputs? Nothing? Okay. Code of conduct. You will know that each department, doesn't matter where you work, will have a code of conduct. Some people just call it rules and regulations or whatever, but at the State Agents Affairs Board, it's code of conduct, and they are quite strict to the code of conduct. And even with the new property practitioner bill, the code of conduct is not going to change a lot. There might be some new things coming in or small changes, but it's not major. So the estate agents in South Africa have to abide by the code of conduct regulated by the Estate Agents Affairs Board in terms of the Estate Agents Affairs Act. Now, why is there a code of conduct? This is generally a duty to protect the public's interest. We always joke and say, you know, the Estate Agents Affairs Board is actually working against you, where the institute is helping you. So, yeah, the Estate Agents Affairs Board is there to cover the public interest. An estate agent shall not, in the conduct of his business, do or omit to do any act which is contrary to the integrity of the estate agent in general. The estate agent shall protect the interest of its client at all times to the best of his ability. The estate agent shall not, in his capacity as an estate agent, willfully or negligently fail to perform work or duties with such a degree of care and skill as might reasonably be expected of an estate agent. And the estate agent shall comply with both the Act and the regulations promulgated thereunder. The estate agent shall not equal service to any person for reasons of race, creed, sex, or country, or of national origin, shall not discriminate against a prospective purchaser of immovable property on the grounds that such purchaser will not or is unlikely to make use of financial assistance made available by a specific person or financial institution and which the agent offers to arrange on his behalf. Now, this is very important. You know, that's why we always advise make use of a bond originator, because each bank has got their own documentation that you have to complete. You can just imagine if you assist your buyer to do the application for finance, and he must do 5 application forms. Each one is at least 4, 5, 6 pages long, and it's the same questions over and over and over. It is very bad. So if they use a bond originator, in most instances, it is one document that they complete, and that bond originator submitted to all the banks. And it happens in the past that, even if you are, one of my clients was an ABSA client, and he was an ABSA client since birth, and he was more than 40 years old. So you can just imagine it's half his lifetime he was with ABSA. The owner pick an estate agent to give the sole permission to sell the property. The agent can sell the property, no other agent can sell the property, but the owner can also sell the property. If the owner sells the property, he does not have to pay commission to the agent. Then you get a sole and exclusive mandate. This mandate is sole and exclusive to a specific agent. No other agent or purchaser or seller can sell the property for the period of that mandate. That mandated agent will be paid the commission no matter who sells that property. Now, what I want to tell you about this, you must be very awake when it comes to this. We had a mandate just last week, passing my table, where it states clearly it was an open mandate. But when you read through the mandate, the owner of that property signed that mandate as if it's a sole and exclusive mandate. But the heading and the first paragraph say that it is an open mandate. But now that agent claims that he's got the sole right to manage that property, selling or rental for the period that property is in the market. And he will be entitled to commission, even sales commission, even if it's not the tenant that is buying that property. So that is misleading. Then you get a share mandate. We do get sometimes an owner say, but I've already given it to my sister's brother. He's not working very hard, but you know what, I don't want to cut him out. So let's do a share mandate. So you can sell and he can sell. He will get his share for what he's did and you will get your share. So in that instance, most of the time we share a 50-50 commission and then it is a share mandate. It counts as a sole mandate, but it is a share mandate. Any questions on mandates? Okay, no estate agent shall offer
Rhina.
Yes.
Rhina.
Yes, Dolly.
On the spot exclusive. Can the seller sell the house?
If it's a sole and exclusive mandate and the seller sells the house, then you are entitled on commission. If you have that in writing.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Rhina?
Yes.
The seller, do they have a right to choose which mandate? Because my experience is that most of the estate agent will actually want you to sign this exclusive mandate where it's only them who can sell. And if anyone could sell, they still are entitled to the commission. So who chooses which mandate?
Okay, the owner is entitled to choose the mandate. But when we are estate agents and you work very hard in your area and you know you can sell that property, I always say, choose the mandate if you know you can sell that property. If it's well priced and you know it's a good property, take a sole and exclusive mandate. Because with the sole and exclusive mandate, we do a full marketing proposal for the owner and we put in more effort, if I can say it that way, to make sure that you sell that property. Because why are you going to put a lot of effort in for an owner that is giving it out to 50 agents, but one that trust you and say, listen, I really trust you and you must sell this, and you know the price of that property is very good and you can sell that property, then you can take a sell and exclusive mandate. We advise a sell and exclusive mandate because it is, as an estate agent, like in any product, you can't sell a product if you don't have a product. So property in this instance is our product. So you have to secure a product for you. Put in effort. We will, in the full training, you will get all the qualification to do a proper marketing report and to show the agent, the owner how to do a proper valuation and make sure his price is right. Show the house. We've got our website. Our website's going to be, most of the agencies' websites are linked to most of Portugal's, and you can really go wild on advertising that property and to sell it. I can assure you that I've sold a property that was in the market for 2 days, especially when you start building up a very nice database. Does it answer your question?
Very, very beautifully. Just to follow up on that, so what is the validity period for each mandate?
We normally say 3 months, a 3-month period with a possibility for extension.
Thank you, Rhina.
Okay. And now, all right, now estate agent, and this is very important. If you see this property is not really good and the owner is maybe not assisting, and maybe there's, especially when there's tenants in a property, that is a headache property to sell, because in some instances the tenants does not want to cooperate. If you come across a property where there's a tenant in the property, before you sign the mandate, go to that tenant and say, listen, sir, ma'am, I'm now an estate agent. We are going to sell this property. Are you interested in buying this property? And you know what? I'm going to tell you 70 to 80% of the time, that tenant will buy that property. He's already in that property. He knows the pros and cons of that property. All you need to do then is do a pre-approval, make sure he can qualify, help him to qualify if needed, if it's not a big issue, and sell that property to him. On behalf of a prospective purchaser or lessee, offer, I'm just going to talk here, any offer that you receive, if a property is in the market for 500,000, you market it for 500, and you take the buyer out for 500, and now the buyer comes in and says, I'm going to pay 450. And you know for sure that owner is not going to accept that 450. You sign that offer to purchase. You never fight any price. You sign what they tell you they want to offer. You sign that price. No estate agent shall accept a sale mandate or the extension of a period of an existing mandate unless it is accepted as a sale mandate which contains a provision conferring upon. And everything must be in writing. Please, this is so important. With this mandates, you have to get the full names and contact numbers of the sellers. Now, why are we saying this? This is for you to go back to the office to do a proper valuation and to make sure that that property belongs to the people who put it in the market. They are the real sellers, and what is the problems maybe in the area. So you do your full market research for that area. So you need the full names and contact numbers of the sellers. You need a full property description. You need the netto price the seller would like to in his pocket, your period of your mandate, and as I said, that's the norm is 90 days, 3 months. If a property is in a sexual title development, the rules and regulations must also be attached for that complex. Remember, If there's a levy, you must know what's the levy. You must know what is the municipality account. What is the water and electricity? You must know all those things. You know, there was a case in court where the agent did not disclose the levy to the purchasers. And after they moved in, after registration, they realized that there's a levy to be paid. And the estate agent didn't tell them, and they would land up in court. And you know what? The estate agent is going to pay for life till that guy, while that guy stays in that flat, the agent will pay the levy. So it is so important to disclose everything. And you need copies of the ID, of the sellers, of the IDs. You need proof of rest of the sellers. Sometimes they don't stay in the property, so you must know where do they stay. The municipality account of the property in process of selling. And then we will, in the full training, we will train you how to do a valuation and to list the property on your website. And if there's any difference in valuation of the, say for instance, the owner wants 500,000 and through your valuation it comes, no, the property is only worth 400,000. Then you take the real papers to the property with a manner and you say to the owner, sir, you know what, we did agree on your 500,000, but we want to tell you, look what is the valuation. This is what was registered at the deeds office during this period. The value in the area is lower. For what reason it's lower? Maybe there's a squatter camp or there's a railway line or a new road coming through. There can be lots of other reasons why the valuations in that specific property is going down. And if he doesn't want to agree, at least you plant the seed so that if you come in with a lower offer, then it won't be a shock for him. So, and you must read through your contracts very carefully. If you sign up with an estate agency company, make sure that your contract has been explained to you properly so that you know exactly. And there's so many different types of contracts in the real estate that you can that you must know. Any questions on this? Okay, the duty to disclose the relevant facts. You know, if you know there's a shopping center coming up on the neighboring site, then you must tell that owner or the prospective buyer that there's a shopping center. If there's vacant land, make sure you know what is going on in the area. Look at the overhead electrical lines, railway lines, roads maybe, prospective roads, anything that might come through. Or another thing is your sewer system. Where is the sewer system? Where can they build? Where they cannot build? Also in the full training, we will show you how to look up for that and to make sure that you've got all the knowledge, and also that the properties has been built within the building regulations and building lines. An estate agent shall convey to the purchaser or lessee all facts concerning such property as are within his personal knowledge and with or could be material to a prospective purchaser or lessee thereof. One thing that we don't have to do is it is not necessary for us to show the pegs, your boundary line. We are not really obliged to show that because we accept what is there, that is what we see. If he conducts a business in terms of a franchising, disclose clearly and unambiguously in all his correspondence, circulars, advertisements, and other written documents that he operates in terms of a franchise, and state there on his name and the number of his franchise. One thing that you must be very careful for, and I think that is our biggest problem, is that when you sell a residential property and they are currently doing a business there, make sure that the rights are in place, because maybe you sell it to somebody, there's a business and you want to sell it to somebody for a business. but it's not business rights. Your purchaser accepts it is for business, and when he wants to operate the business, the municipality can come down and say, no, sir, you cannot do a business here, and then you are in trouble. So when you see and canvass a property where it's a business, go to the municipality, make sure you've got the zoning certificate to make sure what can you do there. In most of the instances, you can also get on an existing property, on the municipality bill, it can tell you exactly what is on what you can do there. So you must not perform any conflicts with the aforesaid mandate, and no estate agent shall purchase directly or indirectly for himself. Now this is important. If you are a registered estate agent and you want to purchase a property, you have to declare it. You have to put it at the special comments that you are an estate agent, so you have to declare it. You are not allowed to make any misrepresentations or false statements or to use harmful marketing techniques. An estate agent shall, in his capacity as an estate agent, publish any advertisements which could create the impression that it was published by the owner, seller, or lessor of immovable property, or by a prospective purchaser or lessee of immovable property. You know what estate agents are doing? And I must be honest with you, I've done it also in the past, I'm not doing it anymore, is that you put, we call it a fake ad up, where you know people will respond, and then at the end of the day, when clients call in, you just say, now unfortunately it's been sold, and then you've got them and you can take them to other properties. You are not allowed to do so. Now, is any questions?
Declare to who?
Pardon?
Rhina,
Yes.
I heard you say if you want to buy the house as an estate agent, you must declare. Who do you declare to?
You put it in the contract. There is a comment a clause in the contract. You just say that I'm the purchaser, but I am also an estate agent.
Thank you.
Okay. So the estate agent will not make a false statement, claim to be an expert or to have specialized knowledge, or advertised or otherwise market immovable property in respect of which has been given a mandate to sell or let at a price or rental other than the agreed upon the seller or lessor of the property, or willfully neglected, mislead, use any harmful or misleading marketing technique. Any questions? Now, offers and contracts, I'm just going to touch through the offers and contracts, because tomorrow with the legislation, we're going to talk about offers and contracts. So, duty of estate agents in respect of offers and contracts, who has a mandate to sell or purchase immovable property, shall willfully fail to present to the seller or purchaser concerned any offer, whereas a mandate to sell immovable property may present competing offers, shall amend any provision of a signed offer prior to rejection thereof, explain to every prospective party to any written offer or contract negotiated or procured by him in his capacity as an estate agent prior to signature. If he knows that the offer submitted by him as an estate agent to any party has been accepted or has not been accepted by expiry date thereof, forthwith notify the offerer of such a fact. So it means that any offer you get, you have to submit it to the seller, and if it's not accepted, you also have to inform the seller and the purchaser. But we will talk more about this in tomorrow's training. Prohibition against undue influence by estate agents. No estate agent shall, with good and sufficient cause, influence any party. Meaning you must not go and talk to the seller and say, sir, I'm paying you an X amount, please just keep the house for me, or bribery. You are not allowed to do that at all. Remuneration, as we also said yesterday, estate agents are solely work on commission, and your commission is only, you are entitled to commission only as soon as all the suspensive conditions have been met. And this is legal terms that we will explain to you in full in the full training. If there's any resolutive conditions, everything must be fulfilled first before you will be entitled on commission. But commission gets only paid on date of registration, because most of the time the sellers are paying the commission and the seller is only getting his money on date of registration. Any deposits that the purchaser paid is for the sole, for the purchaser alone, and also the interest on that money is also for the purchaser alone. If it happens that on all the suspensive conditions has been met and they agree that you can take maybe commission from the deposit, then both parties, the seller and the purchaser, must sign, and they must implicate in that agreement. If something happens to the transaction, who's going to be liable then to pay that commission back? Commission fee is prescribed by the law. Introduce a prospective purchaser or lessee to any immovable property, or to the seller or the lessor hereof. He knows, and the seller will then pay you the commission. Include any clause in a mandate or in a contract of sale or lease of immovable property, providing for payment to him by the seller or lessor of immovable property of any commission arising from a contract of a sale or a lease agreement. Consent in writing in a document executed independently of the said mandate of the contract. Such document contains an explanation of the implications of and financial risk for the lessor and the such payment. Trust and trust monies. Yes, Kabelo.
Just a question. So the commission that's prescribed by law, what's the range? What's the percentage, the range?
Okay, the law just prescribed commission. There's no percentage as per se that has been prescribed, but in the industry, there is a norm all around that on residential properties, houses, the commission normally is 7.5%. On vacant land, it can be 10%. Commercial, it's 10%. And then on rentals, it differs. It depends what you must do. It can go from 10 to 15%.
So just based on that, in the event that there are other estate agents for one reason or the other that are offering low commissions as low as, let's say, like 4.5, because they want to convince the seller to take them for a sole and exclusive, is that an unfair practice or it's acceptable?
It's acceptable. You can't fight them, but and Trevor Gore is our guru in real estate on training as well. But he's doing the training for like you asked now on commissions and on this. It's the extra things that's not part of the NK4. And also what he said, you must remember, this is your work. You must see it as a job, if I can call it that way. If you go to your doctor, are you going to negotiate with your doctor on a fee? No. If you go to an attorney, maybe slightly you can negotiate, but I can assure you 90% of the time you will not win your case. If you take a property in, it's not to say that you are going to sell that property, even if you work hard on that property. You must look on this month. I am listing 5 properties. How much is it costing me for that 5 properties? Maybe I'm selling 1. How much does it cost me in overall that month, my overall cost? So you cannot save on this one specific property. You are going to cut the commission. I think, and that is my experience, if you come in with a proper marketing report and you tell the owner exactly where you stand, what are you going to do, instead of convincing him on 4.5% commission, I'm telling you, if you come in with a proper market, he's going to choose you. We've seen it several. Yeah, we've seen it several times. Professionalism, I think, it's the main thing that must be honored here. Okay, trust monies. I'm just going to touch on the trust monies. It is, we as estate agents, be honest with you, I never take any money in my trust account, so it goes to the attorney's trust account. But if it happens, especially on rentals, on deposits, you put it in the trust account. There's two options. Either or, you can pay the tenant or the purchaser who's putting the money in your trust the full amount, interest back. And it's a risky thing because remember, you are not a financial provider. Number one, the interest rate is daily. It's not a monthly thing, it's a daily thing. So how do you work that thing out on the dot? The other option is that you tell them there's no interest rate, there's no interest. Then the interest that accumulates gets paid to the Estate Agents Affairs Board. But then you can deduct your banking cost. I'm telling you, your banking cost sometimes can kill you on this. So you must make sure, especially on rentals. On rentals, I always say they can be upset with me because it's hardly 100 Rand interest that they get, but it's costing you about 80 Rand a month to run that bank account. So who's going to lose at the end of the day? Only you're going to lose. That little money that you make for your rental income, it's not worth a while if you have to pay the banking cost as well. But if you can say, all right, you pay to the Estate Agents Board, then you can deduct your banking costs, you pay the balance to the Estate Agents Board, and then you at least you get you cover up with that. If it's a sale transaction, then I say no. Then the purchaser sign an approval that you can invest his deposit in an interest-bearing account. Now, what they normally do, I go to the bank. FNB's got a very nice option where they open a subsidiary account in your trust account specifically for that client, and they put the money in there. What makes it nice, because the moment you withdraw that money, plus the interest, you don't have to fight interest because it's an exact amount, and it's on the bank system, and the bank works it out. So you are nobody will come and claim any other interest from you. Any questions on that? Sorry, I just want to go. Confidentiality. Oh, it's so important. You know what? Especially when you get the client's details or the owner's details, you are not allowed to sell that details, give it out to anybody else. It's solely for your usage alone. So you can only use it for your what you need it for. Any questions before we close down, please? Yes?
So what happens if you did not have any agreement about your...
Yes, somebody wants to talk. Any questions? Yes. Jamila?
Yes, the notes for this class, will they be provided somewhere? I heard yesterday that they would be posted on a platform.
Yeah, we will post it on the MLS platform. All the slides what you've seen here will be posted on the MLS platform. Manasi will help us take it through, and then you will have it there.
And how do we access the LMS platform?
He will tell you exactly. Have you received an email from Masego for registration?
Yeah, I
No.
think for registration I may have. I'm not certain. I think I only received for connecting to this meeting.
Now then you will, yeah, then she's got your details. You will definitely have then the details. But Munasi will come in to show us exactly on the LMS system, how do you access all these materials.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Now I would like to do an activity for you for tomorrow, please. This is quite nice. It is, you can just, through what we spoke, is that a buyer makes an offer on a property through an estate agent. The estate agent advises the buyer of a financial institution that he can obtain a bond through. But the buyer wants to apply at a different bank and not the suggested option. The agent advises the prospective buyer that it is not a good idea, and if he wants to secure the deal, quickly he should go with the suggested option. Now my question is that action of the agent in the interest of the public? Is the agent action legally and ethically? Motivate your answer. Will you please do so for me? Any questions, please? The floor is open now for questions.
Hi, Rhina.
Yes.
I want to understand on the deposit. What happens if you had no discussion about what happens to a deposit, whether it's interest or not? How do you go about it?
Pardon, the line was very bad.
All right. What I'm saying is, with regards to rental deposit, what happens if you have no agreement with your agent? What is happening? Are you gonna get a interest when you retire the lease or what?
You see what is dangerous when you don't have a written agreement with the agent. Say, for instance, I came along and I said to you, can I rent your property out? Without a written mandate, we trusted each other, we like each other's faces, and we think, no, it's fine. And, sorry, I just want to... And now I'm getting a tenant. So whose tenant is that? It's my tenant. So I've put the tenant in there, but I've signed a contract for 12 months. After that 12 months, I can renew that contract. While that tenant is in that property, I'm actually entitled because it was my action that puts that tenant in that property. Is that what you ask?
Not really. I'm asking from the tenant side. If the tenant,
Oh, okay.
if a tenant puts a deposit, but there is no
Yeah.
specifications about the interests on the deposit, what happens after the term of the lease to the deposit?
If there's
Do you get the
no, if
deposit
there's
as it is, or do you get it with interest?
then you get interest. If it's not clarified or if you didn't write it down, it's then it must be interest. You must be interest. But remember, on a rental property, you must leave it at the same state as you received it.
Yes. Thank you.
Any more questions, please? It's nice to talk. Dolly?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
No, thanks a lot.
Hi.
Mr.
Hello.
Nguena? Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, can I ask? Yes, can I ask a question? Like, what? When are you and the seller's lawyers, when do you actually start paying those things? After a loan approval or after the process of registration is almost complete?
No. As soon as the loan has been approved, then
Okay.
okay. As soon as the loan has been approved, then the lawyers will ask you if there's a deposit. If you've got a deposit, then obviously you must pay the deposit. But after the loan has been approved, because then we know everything is out of the way and it's now ready. So they will ask you for the deposit and they will ask you for the transfer cost and the bond cost. The bond cost is normally at one attorney, the transfer cost is with another attorney. I can just mention to you, there's an app that you can download on your cell phone. The name is OOBA, OOBA. It's very nice. It gives you the calculation exactly what is bond cost, what is the transfer cost, for how much can you qualify. It's a very friendly, user-friendly app. I will always suggest on the bond cost, just give you a leverage of a 5,000 Rand up, because not all the attorneys is asking for the same prices.
All right.
Any
No, thank you
question?
very much.
Okay. Does it answer your question?
Yes, 100%.
Any other questions? Dolly, you want to ask a question?
No, thanks.
Anybody else? Because then I'm nearly finished. And we hope that you will feel free that you would like to come and do our full course, so then you can learn everything that you have to know.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I think it was made in 1972. So it's not the
Is that a question? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear you,
can
sir.
we give Rhina a round of applause and appreciate her? Thank you,
Rhina.
Rhina. Yeah, we really